Hi, this is Maciej from DCX, and this video is about the setup and installation and basic process you need to start the operation of your rack system. And the first thing you will notice on the delivery are the rack frames. And you can see the rack frame is already assembled, and but you will get that pre-assembled, and you will just need to connect two components with one easy step. So what you will get the rack frame and the sliding table, and those two parts, those two sides of that components will be already completely assembled. So we are delivering it kind of IKEA style, and all you need to do is just use 3 aluminum bars and 1 steel one to connect those two parts. We'll provide you with the exact manual and drawings, but for the sake of that video, you just need to connect that all together here. 1 aluminum, second and third, and the steel one in the front. And you just need actually 2 tools to do it. One would be that small element, the small key, and that's 5 mm. So for our US customers, we will include that within the shipment, so you will not have to look for it on the Amazon. If you look here in detail, what you have here are the screws which are located inside of that frame. So if you can just see in the very detail here right now, you just put it here. You need to see that directly. You'll use that screw, which will be mounted already into the frame, and you are connecting it to that profiles here, and you are just adding some force, and you are finally connecting it, and you will need that key to do it. So there are 2 screws on the top and on the bottom. So you will connect that, you will secure it firmly, and after that the rack will be rock solid. The third one is also using that imbus key, that key, and that's also connected with that one. So you will just need one tool to connect complete rack system. Make sure you are tighten it correctly. Do not over tighten it though, because but it should be rock solid after the assembly. You will need just one key to assemble everything, complete rack frame. Tighten it firmly. Do not over tighten it though. But after that, it should hold easily of 1 ton of the equipment inside of that frame. All those components, as mentioned, all those rolls, everything will be assembled already. As you can see, the rack has also one improvement, which are the sliding frames, which allow you to slide out the enclosure more easy without using any force. The sliding table, as you can see here in front of me, works both ways. So it allows you to maintain bottom enclosure and the middle enclosure. It will be also delivered as a part, 2 parts, 2 sides of the unit, and just 3 components, 1, 2, 3, to connect it completely. And also we are using just 1 key to do it, right? So it's fairly easy. The unit works both ways. It's very easy to connect. And now I'm placing it for the maintenance of the bottom enclosure. If you observe this here, you need to connect 2 parts. So no sliding of those enclosures without those 2 things being completely connected. We don't want to risk anything. So we are connecting that one, and now it stays firm, connected, and allow you to slide out right now the bottom enclosure. So this is the rack frame, easy as shown. Now we have the connection or installation of the hydraulic components, so the enclosures and the dry cooler system. So most of our customers orders complete package. So rack frame, which you can see here, 3 enclosures, the dry cooler system, and the hydraulic components, so the black box which you can see here, and all the tubing. So this is all you need to start operation with the capacity of 120 up to 150 kilowatts of heat exchange with the 35 degrees Celsius ambient air. This is all you need. That black box here looks kind of hydraulic, right? But it's not so scary actually. And if you are considering any home heating, cooling loop, usually there's lots of piping, lots of pumps, heat exchangers, and all those hydraulic components. Now here everything is packed into the one convenient package, and all you need to do is you need just to connect the flexible rubber tubing to between the dry cooler and between those that black box to the enclosure. So that's all you need. We are not using that one though. What we will be using would be just the some clamps and that tubing. So observe here, you have the fittings for the enclosures here. This is the red side, marked red. So this is inlet from those enclosures. So hot fluid goes from the enclosures, and this is cold side, right? Right now, for the sake of convenience, we position those fittings that way, but usually they will go down to allow you to route the tubing in both direction. In that component, you can see we have also the thermometers, and the thermometers combined with the manometers, so you can see what is the pressure within the system. And you can see, you will not see here, or maybe you will be able to see here, just also temporarily attached vessel, the expansion vessel, which allows us to secure the installation even if you will overheat. So it's, you know, user proof. If you will make an error, that component will allow you to do it. Now you can see also in that black box there are vents, air vents, which are automatic vents. So that will remove all the air within the system without, you know, hassle-free, without any additional works. Very nice component to have on that unit. And let's go to the bottom of that component. You will see here there are two one-way valves which allow you to connect to fill the system on the cold side or on the hot side or on the cold side. So it's easy. And then at the bottom you have the fittings, and those fittings may be done by us, so we can, you know, pre-assemble everything. The pump, circulation pump, which maintains the 120 kilowatt dry cooler, or you can order any, you know, type of the connection. Will help you to, you know, to have everything pre-assembled, so easy to install on your site. All you will need to do is to use the 2-inch tubing, which we also provide, the clamps, secure it, connect it, put it on the tube fittings here, hidden here, and that's all you need. And you are doing that on the both sides, so the black box side and the dry cooler side. So it's easy to start the system. Now, how to connect the tubing properly? So first of all, let's check that one. That unit right now is pre-filled already, so it's lots of water here. These are closed, the valves are closed, and it should be like this. Now, first of all, you will need to observe if the tube is straight cut. This is very important, so the tube doesn't have any edges and any problems that may affect with the small leak here. We don't want that. You need the GBS clamp here. So, and you just need to connect it here. Just use any tool you may have. Just keep it so it connects firmly. That's it, right? So let's go on the other side. The same process. You keep the tubing, make sure that it's connected properly. Now it's connected. The unit is connected on that side. Now let's go to the other side, so the enclosure side. We take the tubing and that's the cold side. So it transfers the heat from the dry cooler to the enclosure. So we take the cold side, we take GBS clamp, and we put it, you need to see that in detail, you will put it on the bottom fitting, bottom connection to the brace plate heat exchanger on the enclosure. So the enclosure has the two fittings, one at the bottom, one on the top. So the bottom one is connected, is the enclosure inlet. So this is where the colder fluid goes. Now, you are adding this, you are adding the C-clamp, and the same. You are connecting everything firmly. Oh, I lost my, yeah. This is what I need, exactly. That's first. And the outlet from the enclosure, the top one. So we look for the hot side here. We're connecting that. And actually you can see there's lots of tubing here, but the top enclosure doesn't slide out. We don't want that, we don't need that, right? If you would go with the 4 levels or 5 levels, some customers are requiring it, but in that case with the standard rack, which is located at the home when the height would be, let's say, 2 meters to 3 meters or 5 meters, we don't need any more levels. So adding the clamp, adding the fitting, that's the outlet from the enclosure. And maybe I will change the clamp on the other side. It would be easier for us to, to connect everything. As you can see, easy process. It took me, I don't know, 2 minutes or so to connect everything. Now, everything looks connected, correct? The tubing is here, and with the two enclosures at the bottom, those slide out. So you need to leave some space for those enclosures, for those tubing, to allow you easy sliding out of those without any, tubing being, for example, cut, or let's say the closed, right? So we don't want any pressure drop. Now, the pressure is here already. So they are pre-filled. But I will show you how to pressurize the system using another component which we deliver, which is the pressure pump. So that one, very simple component, not much hassle with that one. And you connect the fitting. That's that's half-inch fitting, and you're connecting it to one of the ports on the cold or on the hot side. Now I'm connecting it on the hot side. Easy as that. Connecting it. They may leak a little bit. We don't care about that, because what we are doing is temporarily pressurizing the whole system. And I will just find my tool to just tighten it up just a little bit. I don't need to I don't need to do it very firmly, but that's just all you need actually. Now, how the pump works. It's also a simple process. As you can see, what I have here is the demineralized water. We will be using treated or demineralized water with the loop between the enclosures and the dry cooler system. We will add to it either glycol, and with the percentage of depends on how much we expect cold season and what would be the temperatures. The problem is that we will not have cold temperatures. Where we are located, we just had half a day of snow, and usually the weather is kind of autumn weather, but not winter weather here. So, prepared the pump for the connection, and how it works. I am just adding the water or water glycol mixture or water with additives. We provide you with the additives, and that's actually very good, high quality additive, anti-corrosion, antibacterial, antifungus. In our case, when we are running the system hot, having 60 degrees, we don't expect too much of the fouling, but the water should be controlled on the long term. But You actually may buy also some local fluids used in the car industry for the car radiators, so it will be just fine. So treated water first, and you are putting it into the pressure pump. Done. And having that pre-filled already, we can start pressurizing the system. We make sure that all the clamps, all the components are connected firmly and tightly, that everything is secured, so we control that again. Now I can open the top valves here, so I don't observe any leak. There's some pressure already here, but I don't observe any leak, so it should be just fine. And I can start pressurizing the loop. As you can see, I have very, very low pressure here, so I will start adding some pressure, and we'll see what will happen. We have manometer here, which also shows us the pressure in the system. We have two valves, valve 1 and valve 2. So what we're gonna do is we open the valve 1, we open that counterclockwise, and we close the valve 2 clockwise. So close valve 2, open the valve 1. We are ready, and we start the, let's say, filling the system. After some while, we'll observe the pressure rising within that installation. So bear with me, I will do that I will just, work out a little bit, and we'll see what will happen. So as you can see, after some workout, I can see that the pressure rised up to 2 bars, which is completely fine. So you can see on the manometer here. And this is how the system works. I will add some more. And in a moment, we will start the pump. I think it should be fine. So let's start the pump. You can hear it works. And it seems that everything is fine. I don't observe any leak on both sides. Well, let's check the enclosures. All the fittings are just fine, and you can check whether the water is flowing. So you can just take the pipe in your hand and observe what's happening. Yes, I can hear the vibration of the flow. I can check that the pipes, that the tubing is stiff, full of water, so it's properly filled. You can just observe it and feel it. And also, the main primary loop, primary tubing between the black box and the dragware, it's filled. Yep, just fine. If I would like to remove the air, remember, on that side the air is removed by those automatic vents. And during the startup we could see that the air is bursting from the unit. We could hear that sound. You will hear that. And on that side we have 2 vents. So observe this. You have one vent here and another air vent on the other side. So this is what you need, and you just take some cloth just to be on the safe side, and you can try to release the air if there is any. So very delicately. Oh, I can see that the water is flowing. Yeah, just the water is flowing, right? You can see that, and that's just fine. So I'm closing it, I'm not over tightening it. That's the delicate component, and yeah, we are on the safe side. Not much of the leak here. You know, guys, that's it, more or less. We have the system pressurized up to 2 bars. We connected both black box and pumping system with the hose fittings on the dry cooler system. And now what we need to do is to start the dry cooler. Okay, so one more thing in regards to the pressurization of the system and basically air release. This is most important to be 100% sure that we don't have any air within the system. Then the dry cooler works and all the heat exchangers, brace plate heat exchangers on the enclosures, they work at full capacity. Now we just started the operation. We just filled that system. It took us maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes or so to do that, and the most of that time was just wiggling with that handle here on that pressure pump. You must know that you may also connect any circulation pump to pre-fill the system. So now we're first connecting pressure pump, so less hassle with that manual one, and then you are able to pre-fill the unit. After that, just pressurize the system up to 2 bars maximum with that manual pump. So after you started the system, after you filled the system, you starting the pump. So this is what we did. We didn't start the pump too early. Only after the installation was pre-filled. And now we must observe what will happen. When you will start the dry cooler unit, when there will be additional vibration and when the system will get more heat, then the additional air may be released from the system. At that point, those vents should act automatically, but you may also perform simple check to check whether all air is working. You can close either hot or cold side. Simple manual operation. You raise the pressure on the cold side. Just for a moment, you can hear that the pump is working differently. So that may help you release the air on the hot side, and the same procedure on the cold side. And that should also release the remaining air from the system. But for now, system works just fine, circulates correctly. The dry cooler is filled. And if there will be any additional air, it will be released into the black box. So that completes our filling procedure for the rack system and commissioning and installation of the black box, heat distribution and pumping and control unit.